Right, and welcome to this episode. My name is Abel Gray Kantoma from GREYTEST Design Consult. This is my WhatsApp contact. You can reach me on this number or call me on any of these numbers, okay? Today we are going to be continuing at where we stopped. We were able to do the entire model. We modeled steel members, reinforced concrete members. We were able to talk to a large extent about some of the major kind of foundations that we have. And then we did analysis, we did the design, and went to Prota Steel. Now I want to take my entire detailing to my Prota detail. But mind you, if you come to drawings and reports, you can have a preview of how your detailing should look like even before you take them to your Prota detail. The essence of this, I believe, in my opinion, is that you can be able to see how your detailing is going to look like before you take them there. So as for you to do whatever adjustment you want to do on the detailing before you take them finally to the Prota detail. I'm going to talk about the Prota detail in this particular video. So but then this helps to guide you to be able to have a preview of how it's going to look like. So on the drawings and the reports, if I click on column elevation, for example, you can see these are all the list of the column. If I want to just have a preview of my story one column, a separate window is going to be created specially for this. As you can see by the right hand corner of my screen, you see column elevation st1. Although it's loading in the background at the moment, so we will have to wait for it. All right, so we are here. If you look at this, this is the column elevation for my story one. You can see the reinforcement and then the column is just showing only the story one level, so you can see it's not really continuing, but you can see the reinforcement showing a continuity here. So that is that. Similarly, you can do that for every other structural member. All you need to do is come to your drawings and reports and click on any of these structural member, and it will generate that for you automatically. So you can have a preview of how the detailing is going to look like. If you are not very satisfied from your settings here, which I showed you in the previous video, you can come back and readjust some of the detailing settings. Okay, so that is that. So the next thing we will do, although okay, the next thing we will do is to just click on my Prota detail, and automatically the Prota detail will open the background. So I'm sure it's loading at the moment, so we'll have to wait for it. All right, so it has loaded. This is it. So so if you are new to Prota, which I suppose that a lot of people viewing this at the moment must have been conversant with Prota Structure generally, only that most people have not really been able to go through the 2024 version. So this is basically the Prota detail for the 2024. If you look at this, you can generate auto generate detail. You can also start by creating a new drawing. Okay, what this means is if I click on auto generate, automatically it will generate all the structural detailing in this particular project. So that is what it's going to do. If I click on start by creating a new drawing, that means I am manually going to be selecting them to generate those details. So what I will do is to click on auto generate details, and then I will delete them on the window and then generate them manually as well. So for you to have an insight of how to do this yourself. As you can see from the draw details, every level, or will I say every story, is actually selected. But you know, this story 9, if you have been following, what I have there is just the steel member. So whether I leave it checked or not, the Prota detail will not generate the drawing for my steel members. Okay, so but then I have all my story from the foundation level up to the level 8. Okay, so all of these are here. There are some settings that you can do here. If you look at this, this is option 2, and this is option 3. You can carefully go through all of these settings to see what it means. You can see show dimensions. That means you want the dimension on your pad footing to reflect. You want the strip footing dimension to also reflect. So however, you can check every of the structural member. The form plan side dimension can also reflect, but some of those dimensions may not be very necessary. Draw similars separately, so you can use this display column load. So that means the loads, although I was not able to show you how to display like your axial load on your column, so you can see how the loadings that are acting on each of the column. Okay, so you'll be able to tell what is the load that is coming down on your foundation at each column point. Although as we continue in Prota Structure, but you can visit some of my videos. If you go down below the description of this video, you find a link to the channel. Okay, you find when you visit that channel, you will see a whole lot that I have been able to talk about Prota Structure generally. You can see display column load. You can actually select that to display the column load. If I click on this column load, it gives me the option to select whatever kind of load I would like to show in my columns. So you can see the nodal load, axial load, bending moment, and the shear force. So whichever load I want to display on my drawing, I can just simply select it and that will be done. But then I would like to skip that part, and then the scale, very important. I can insert this on a sheet of paper. Okay, so like you know, Prota detail is a stand-alone module, I would say. With Prota detail, you can generate your drawing from your Prota detail, edit your drawings in Prota detail, arrange them on your title block in Prota detail, and also print directly from Prota detail. So whether you have a formal knowledge of AutoCAD or not, you can use Prota detail to generate your drawing smoothly. So I will just only going to be giving you a little overview of what you can do and how to go about it, so you can sit down on your own and explore on it better. But like you know, I will also repeat, I have covered all of these in my previous videos as well. So if I select this sheet, you can see it has uh different sizes of paper. These are different sizes of papers. Okay, like you know, it's customary to use A3 paper in Nigeria. So however, you can use A3 paper that is for structural designs, but for road design, the size of the paper is usually different. Okay, but for structural design, it's actually A3 paper most of the time. I think that is the generally accepted size of paper that you can use for your structural design. So you can select the sheet of paper you will want to use. You can see the insert to sheet is selected. Generate sheet list, you can however select generate sheet list. You can do this, come back and try another set of settings in order for you to be able to understand better what each of these settings can do for you. Okay, slab hole slash drop rebars, I'm sure you understand where you have an opening in your slab or you have a drop and all that. Slab steel members, that can be checked. Slab reverse deflection, you can check all of that however you want it to look like. So you can see print alternative layer information. So what this means is that B1 will, if I select this now, where this is going to be B1, it is going to replace it with BB. So that will be bottom, 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 top, 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 bottom. I believe you understand that as a student of civil engineering, you must have been very conversant with these words, these terms. Hatching options, you can however come to this and select the hash however you want, because this is going to display on your drawing when you print it out. So you can just play around with it in order for you to understand better. So these are the list of the structural members that you can generate their detailings. Okay, you can see the formwork is also included here. So you are going to see that formwork that we actually created in on our column and on our beam. If I leave this checked, that means it's going to generate those detailing for me. To draw on separate files, insert to sheets, you could remember we have done all that. So but then I can also select draw sheets side by side. I can select that, generate sheet list however I want. Like I said, you can just keep trying each of these settings to see what it can do. Once I click on that, I will click on the window and then my detailing is going to start loading. All right. So if you look at this very well, you will see that the detailing is already generating in the background. So we will have to wait for this to finish generating. Okay. Right, that has loaded. So if you could remember, we checked that sheet list. So this is basically what that sheet list is all about. As you can see, it's showing us beam elevations. It has actually listed all the beams that we have, and then similarly for columns, as you can see, for our floor plan, which is the form plan as well, you can see all of that. So it is not really very necessary to really have this though, so you don't really need to check that as an option, but it's important for you to see how that looks like. As you can see here, we have these drawings on our template. Now mind you, you can edit the informations on these templates. There is a way to go about it, and I'm going to show you that. So you can see for yourself, all our drawings have been generated at each floor. This is the foundation. Okay, this is the column plan. If you could remember, this is our core wall. These are all column. Let's go down to this part and show. Okay, so you can see this is the core wall. These are the columns. So I'm going to delete some of them, or I don't necessarily need to delete though. I can still create this manually to show you how to generate them. If you could remember, we had two options to create new, or you should select the auto generate detail, right? So you can see this is our column detail, our beam details rather. So it goes on and on. It's it will go as far as showing you good. This is that form work that we created. Remember, this is for the column form work, this is for the beam. The form work is important as well. You can see it will go as far as generating the quantity table for you. So as an engineer, probably you want to know how many number of maybe the plank that you will use for your formwork on your structural members. You can simply use the Prota Structure to generate all your formworks, and you will know the exact quantity that you will need for the project. Okay, so that is that. We have been able to generate our detail, as you can see obviously here. But mind you, like I said, you can as well generate your detailing from here manually. For example, you can see this is form work at this level. If I right click this and I click on draw, automatically it will draw. If I also click on form plan, that means everything about foundation at, and then their form plan, that at is the layout, it will generate them for me automatically. That is basically what it means. So but let's say I want to generate for only this foundation, and I click on draw. I can just drop it at any anywhere around my window. Automatically that will be generated. As you can see, it has been generated. All I need to do is just to zoom. It's loading, it's still loading in the background. So we'll have to wait patiently a bit. So the model is a bit large, so sometimes it may take a little while for it to generate. But you can see this is the form plan at foundation. Sorry, this is the foundation layout that has been generated by the software. So similarly, you can do that for all of them. If you look at this what they call it, these columns, it's important sometimes to generate your column, draw column, draw column elevation, draw column elevation one by one. I'm coming. So if you draw, there is one settings I am looking for. Aha. So if you can see this is story one. If I select, if I click on this that is pointing this direction, you will see a drop down menu will pop up like this. You can select any particular column. So let's say I want to have a continuous column. I will click on draw column elevation through stories. Okay, it's important most of the times that we use this yeah, through all this story, and I'll click on OK, because in reality this is basically the best way to represent your column detailing, so as for you to see your reinforcement starting from the foundation level up to the topmost level of your structure. It's very important that this is represented this way. But you can compare this with this, you will notice that there is a difference. For this one that was generated automatically, you will realize that the software had to break the columns at each floor. Okay, so but I just want to show you that the software has the capacity of generating your columns all through your stories. Okay, so you can see this is at each level, and it's not a very good way for me to represent my column. I would rather prefer this column to be like this, no matter the number of stories. Okay, so this is going to be way better to represent it this way. So you can literally select, you can generate all your detailings manually from here. Okay, it's very easy to do that. I have shown you. So any structural member you want to generate, all you need to do is just to come by the left hand corner of your screen. You will see each of the structural members. Just select and it brings out a drop down menu like this. You can select any story and generate that member. Okay, so mind you, Prota Structure or Prota Detail is a bit wide. Okay, there is a whole lot to talk about as far as Prota Detail is concerned. It's not just to generate your detailed drawing. There are some designs you can also generate from here, because like you know, your staircase can be designed, analyzed, and the detailing will be generated for you here. All you need to just do is to specify, type in your informations properly, and the software will generate them. It's like a template. All you need to just do is just to fill in what you want there, and it will be analyzed and designed. If it fails, it will tell you. If it passes, it will tell you. It's very straightforward. It's very easy to use. Okay, it's one of the most flexible and very straightforward software for most engineers that are looking for a way to achieve their design, or you are new to design. I will tell you that Prota is one very easy, friendly, and software that you can ever use. You can see here it has from here you can see this symbol looks like a staircase, so it's telling you this is a staircase. This symbol is for a retaining wall. This is retrofitting. This is scaffold. This is cover. This is isolated part. This is swimming pool. So all of them, as you see them as they are like this, you can generate your design from here automatically. All you need to do, like I said, is to type in, put in your information, and automatically that will be generated. So whatever your information is as regards to your staircase, just type in those informations here. Whatever you put in here, automatically it will update and just redesign. Once you redesign, it will redesign it for you. Once you are done with the design, you can generate your design report. Very easy. It's just a single click. Automatically your report will be generated. But you know, your staircase, you use the architectural drawing to actually generate your staircase. So that architectural drawing, you will be able to know what is your riser, what is your tread, what is your how many what do you call it, the number of steps that you have in your, and then the waist. Okay, so you need to know all of those information, and in most cases, most of the major information that you will have to generate yourself as the engineer is the waist. Okay, but the height, the width, the landing length, all of these, this plate thickness, these are the information you will have to uh, generate based on your discretion as the engineer. Then the dead load, the life load, it is your responsibility. So these are the informations you have to provide, but in most cases, almost everything here is given to you by the architects. Only that the riser is given, the width is given of your, that is your this is your thread. Okay, so it's usually 300, which is 1 foot. The rise is usually 150, but sometimes you may have 175. However, this is from the architecture. The number of steps is also from the architectural drawing. So that's basically it. All you need to do is just to type in your information. You can see you have different templates here for whichever kind of staircase you want to achieve. You can see spiral, you can see load bearing, you can see doubled arm kind of staircase. So all you do is just to select. Once you select, you type in, fill in your information, that suits the architectural drawing, and you design you to generate your design report, and you click on detailing. Although this is not up to date, has not been designed, so I will have to redesign this because I have made a major change on the design. So you can see the design is just a click. Once you click on redesign, in few seconds that will be generated. It's as simple as ABC. You can see the detailed drawing has been generated for you. Similarly, for your retrofit, all you need to do is just to click on retrofit wall, and a template like this will come up. You fill in your information just like I said earlier on. You already know the size of your column. You know, retrofitting is usually used for columns that are already maybe failing, or they are no longer sufficient. Yeah, they are maybe failing, and you want to reinforce that column or increase the cross section of that column, so you retrofit it. So it's a column uh, for wall, for beam. So you can just fix in your information. Once you put in the information, these are some of the major parameters that you will need, and then you type in all of that. Like, this is just generally an deep overview that I'm giving as regards to the software. When we proceed, I'm going to carefully go through each of these structural members and show you how to come about your designs with them. You can see our retrofit has been generated. Similarly, for your retaining wall, all you need to do is just to click on this tab here called the cantilever retaining wall, and automatically, it's like a template, it will come up for you. Type in your information. This is the geometry of the cantilever retaining wall. You can use a share key or a parapet, however, whichever kind of retaining wall you want to use. You can see it's very easy once you get your geometry right. Okay, because you as the engineer, you have to use your discretion to know all of these things. You type in all the information. You must have your soil report for you to actually design a retaining wall. Okay, because if you are designing a retaining wall, you are definitely retaining something, either it's soil or water, whatever you are trying to retain. So you will have to get your soil report. It's very important. In most cases, they are soil, so you fill parameters, analysis, settings. You have to do your settings. You can see it's giving you a little preview of how the analysis is like for this particular retaining wall, and it's telling us everything here. The stability analysis is successful, it has passed. You can see everything is green. So if it's showing you green, that means you are good to go. If it shows you red, that means it has failed. Okay, so however, you can see there are design codes to this, whether you are using Euro code, American code, or Turkish code. All you need to do is just to select, and that is that. Once you do that, you can click on prepare drawing and click on yes. It will generate the analysis for you automatically. You can see the analysis is being done in the background, so we will have to wait for the analysis. Once it's done, automatically we can just find anywhere around our window and click, and that detailed drawing will be generated. It's as simple as ABC. If you already love what you are seeing, please just like this video and make sure that you give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to this channel. It's actually 100% free. Click on the bell icon so as for you to get a notification whenever I post videos. I post videos like this on a weekly, sometimes on a daily, just to encourage as many that actually want to have a deeper insight of design. Okay, so we can as well go to for the parts, for the case of pile. I want to believe this is pile. Yeah, that's pile. So for the case of pile, it's the same thing for all the structural member that you can ever think of. All you need to do is just type in your information, You can see this is a circular pile. You can use any pile cross section you want to use, but I think column circular piles are the most common kind of piles you can find. So all you need to do is specify pile length, pile penetration, reference level, concrete side cover, and all of that. You put in your information and it will generate that for you. Very important that you do this. Okay, so you can, this one can only allow you generate a single pile at a time, but you can also design your pile directly from the Prota structure itself, and then you just come to Prota detail and generate the detailing, right? I have just done a little overview on it, but I did not talk extensively on this particular series of Prota Structure 2024. But by the time I will going to talk more extensively on pile, but if you still want to have a deeper insight, you can still check some of the previous videos I have done on pile foundation using Prota Structure, for previous versions of Prota Structure. The most closest to 2024 is 2022. So with the 2022 tutorials, they are still going to be very, very relevant for you as far as 2024 is concerned. So that is for pile. You can see this is your pile cap. So similarly, just like your pile foundation, you cannot, for you to have a pile foundation, you must have a pile cap. Okay, very important. The both of them work hand in hand. So you will specify the number of piles that should be on your pile cap, whether it is 2, 5, 6. You can see the list is very, very numerous here. In most cases, I don't think you will have up to 100 pile on one pile cap, but it's very possible anyway. It depends on the magnitude of that particular project. Piles, location, pedestal, material option is just very similar to every other templates that I have spoken about. So whichever type of pile that will be on that cap, you will just select it from here. Okay, this is all part of geometry of that pile, and that is that. It will generate that for you. So if you want 3 number of piles on each cap, you can see automatically it comes up. So it's as simple as ABC. So similarly, that is for your pile cap. So the same way for some engineers, maybe in other parts of the world, people still do scaffold design. So you may want to design a scaffold maybe for your project as the engineer. I think is very ideal for you to do scaffold design, because of the safety. Although now we have people who are into the business of renting out scaffold, but as an engineer you may want to design your scaffold for your personal projects, and then you can use your Prota structure to do all that. So you can see the standard, you can see, you can select from here. You can see the suction. This is a circular hollow section. You can use this, which is rectangular. This is square. However, whatever section you want to adopt, you will select that, and then these are the transoms. You can, the ledger, the brace, the guardrails, just as the name implies, they are all here. These are all the features of your scaffold. Okay, so we are going to also be talking extensively on all of this. All you need to do is just to analyze. If you, once you are done specifying, you have to specify the geometry for all of these structural members. Once you are done, you can just click on detail drawing, because the scaffold is also a structural member. They are all structural members. Okay, so you can as well design your scaffold for your site. We have the swimming pool as well. So the swimming pool, okay, so this is your scaffold. It's very straightforward, very straightforward. You can see how great these detailed drawings for your scaffold looks like. It's very wonderful, if I must say. So it's very good. I think they have done a very great job as far as scaffolding is concerned. You can see how very great the detailed drawing is. You can simply print these drawings out and then they fabricate them for you, exactly to this standard. Swimming pool as well is here for you. You can also do a swimming pool design. You can design your pool. All right, so you can see how your pool is like. The good thing about this is that you have from this gallery uh, an option to choose however the geometry of your pool is going to look like. I think this is one of the most very common current design geometry that you can find, right? So you can as well even rotate this. You can view this from the top view to see this from here. You can see slab 1, slab 2, so you can follow based on what you have in the architectural drawing. If this first slab, you can see here it slopes, and then this is this deepest part of this pool. So however you can follow the geometry of the architecture to achieve uh, your model. Okay, you can as well use a wall geometry and all that. So like I said, I'm also going to still talk extensively on all of this even as we proceed, but these are the existing templates that you can play around with. So if you are lucky enough that your pool comes in any of this shape, you can just play with the dimension in order for it to fit in exactly like the way it is. So that's basically how because you can see this is the slab 1. The slab 1 gives you like a table for you to see you can play around with the length, the width and the breadth and all of that. Okay, so that is that about your pool. If you are satisfied with what you have, you can simply uh, assign all your soil information and then analyze and design. You can generate your detailed drawing for this design. So far so good. You can take out time if you have this software and go through your pool and every other structural member. Like I said, I'm not really going to talk very extensive on each of them. I'm just going to give you uh, like a general overview of some of the major templates that we have here. Like I said, Prota Detail is a bit wide as well because there is a whole lot you can do with Prota Detail. Like I said, in Prota Detail is a standalone module that you can use as a drafting software as well. Okay, because you can use this to do your drafting just like the way you use your AutoCAD for your drafting and annotation purpose. You can also use your detail for that. Like it has all some of the major AutoCAD tools like your line, your offset, your array, your trim, your move, your copy and all of that is here. You can see it has some of the major AutoCAD settings like the polar tracking, You can use the polar tracking to achieve a very straight line, whether horizontally, vertically, or diagonal line. You can as well achieve by using Prota Structure. So it's very straight to um, user friendly. So if you are very familiar with AutoCAD, I don't think you have any issues with doing any detailing here manually, because even the shortcut keys are the same with AutoCAD. So just like you use for your AutoCAD, you say L for line, is the same thing with Prota Structure. Just like the way you say CO for copy in your AutoCAD is the same way you do copy in your Prota Structure. The same way you do M for move. As you can see, if I press enter, I can move any of these objects. I will right click and I press enter, and then I can simply move this. You can see. So that is that. You can see all of the major AutoCAD tools that you can use for your drafting are here. You can see the fillets, the chamfer, fillets, they are all here. Break, extend, trim. So, and the shortcut keys are the same. That is one good thing I can tell you. The shortcut keys are the same. So if you are very familiar with AutoCAD, then Prota Detail is going to be a piece of cake as far as detailing manually from here is concerned. Okay, because you literally don't really need to learn anything afresh, because the tools are the same and the shortcut keys are the same. Okay, and then you have the culvert. This culvert, although I believe that they are probably still working on it, because you cannot generate, it doesn't provide reinforcement. You will have to manually insert those reinforcements on your plans. Right, so that is that about culvert. Let's see what other thing. We have this. I think this is pit foundation. So everything here is just like the way I have explained earlier on. You can change however the cross section of this is like. You can just play around with it. You can turn off any of the sides. You can see we have left side, we have right side. You can turn them off. You can play around with the thickness, the width, the length, the height of the cross section here. Very easy to use. Okay, all right. So that is that. You can also just take your time and go through it extensively yourself to understand better what you can do. So so far so good. We have covered extensively on some of the major templates. I am sure I have not been able to really cover fully what you can use Prota Detail for, but I have been able to cover extensively on Prota Detail. On the next episode, I am going to go a bit more deeper to show every other aspect of detailing Prota Detail that I have not been able to cover. Mind you, we have the engineering utilities. On the engineering utilities, there is a whole lot that you can do, most especially for hydraulics. You can see here in your hydraulics, you can specify whether it is rectangular, trapezoidal, or circular. Okay, you could remember we did pit foundation, so that it's very important for you to design your channel, so for you to know, you can see whether for a uniform flow depth or gradually varied flow. All that can be done from here, and then it has some other unit conversion that you can do from here, whether you want to convert from millimeters to centimeter, whether you want to convert from decimeter or inches or feet to any other uh, unit. So you can do all of that from here. So it's like a calculator that helps you to calculate from centimeters to meters, from millimeters to centimeters, however you want to do that conversion. Automatically it does that for you. So you can do for length, you can do for area, for volume, for mass, for force and width, for pressure and stress. So all of that can be done directly from here. You can do a simple beam analysis. This is one very good future for those in a classroom or even for real life projects. You may probably just want to do a simple analysis on your structural member, maybe on site, whether for a concentrated load, which is the point load, or load increasing uniformly to center. However, you can play around with this just to fit in exactly how those loadings are acting on your member. So whether for uniform load, you can actually just simply do the analysis. If you know the load, type in those information. However, specify the distance of force from let. So all of this information can be specified. So this is the starting point, is definitely going to be 0, and then from here to here is going to be 3 meters based on what I have here. So you can change the width, the length of this beam. For example, if the beam is 6 meters, if I press uh, this, you will have to play around with this. You can see from this support to where this load is acting is actually 3 meters, but here there is no load entirely, and this is another support. So you will have to play around with it to um, fix your information right. Okay, so that you know that okay, you are putting in the right informations how you want it, and then the tool automatically analyze it and design it for you. Okay, so the distance of the force from the left is 3 meters. So sorry, the entire length here is 6 meters, but the loading that is acting on this is just 3 meters. So if I want the entire load to be acting at 6 meters entirely, you can see that load has readjusted. Now it is uniformly distributed along the span of the beam entirely. So that is good. If you monitor this, you will realize that whatever value I am having as my maximum deflection is going to change automatically by itself. So if I change it to 2 meters, just take note of what is going on. You realize that the information is changing. So that's basically how this works. You can take out your time and play around with it. Rebar area calculator for your area of your reinforcement bars. You can do all of that from here to maximum spacing, minimum spacing, bar spacing, step, span length. You can calculate the rebar, the area of your reinforcement. Okay, select the reinforcement. Automatically it will tell you the area of your reinforcement. Is a very powerful feature, this engineering unit. It does a whole lot for you. You can see here, this is for your hook length. You can also take your time to go around this, then cover and anchorage for your concrete cover. Very, very important. You can also do all of that, and you can print your reports from here automatically. Please make sure you stay safe. If you like this video, make sure you like it, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel. It's actually 100% free. Click on the bell icon so as for you to get a notification whenever I post videos. I post videos like this on a weekly, sometimes on a daily, just to encourage as many that actually want to have a deeper insight of design. Make sure you stay safe and stay blessed. Thank you.